In the faraway kingdom of Prosody, there lived the great Prince Diphthong and his most trusted companion, the knight Hyperbole. Prince Diphthong loved the knight Hyperbole for his kindness, humor, and his great love for the land of Prosody and for their great friendship. The knight Hyperbole also has a habit of exaggerating, which makes him so much fun to be around. One day, while the knight Hyperbole and Prince Diphthong were having a picnic on their favorite hill in Prosody, the sky turned dark. From the clouds came a woman covered in rags and very grumpy. "Who are you?" shouted the knight Hyperbole. "I am the witch Rhyme, and it is time that you stop your dying. I want the friendship that I see to take the qualities all for me. With flick of wrist and turn of phrase, your personality is a haze. What's good is bad, what's bad is good. I am him now, am I understood? I will set his antonyms free, and soon his opposite you'll see. This curse is set in stone unless you listen to my mighty quest. A hair from a lion thing it grown, a scale from the hydra all alone. The water pure of flowing ride, feather of fire from phoenix hide. The last of hints is quite achievable, a morphine most unbelievable. If your friendship lasts the test, his antonyms will become his best. I will leave myself again, and you will win in the end." When the witch's smoke fell, the witch Rhyme was gone, and the knight Hyperbole's smile had left. He turned to his friend, and in one motion ruined their picnic. Hyperbole then got up and ran towards the main castle of the kingdom of Prosody, destroying everything in his path. The prince thought to himself, "Oi! I need to listen to the witch and break the curse." With that thought, Prince Diphthong raced to the castle library. Hopefully Hyperbole hadn't made it there yet. On his way to the library, Diphthong luckily passed a troop of knights. Diphthong explained the situation and sent the knights to find Hyperbole and keep everyone safe. Diphthong told them his plan and then continued to the library. Finally, Diphthong made it to the library, where he immediately ran to the atlas that sat next to the globe. He needed to map his route to find these extraordinary tasks of his. So, Diphthong drew up his map, grabbed a canteen to carry everything, and his knight Hyperbole's notebook, shield, and pencil lance, and set off on the road. His first destination was Prosody Zoo, to grab a lion's hair. Hyperbole must have run through the zoo on his way to the castle, because all of the animals were out of their pens. The great lion was in front of him. Diphthong pointed his lance toward the lion and whimpered, "Oh my! The lion is the house of an animal." With a whir of magic, the prince's pencil lance began to shake, and the lion grew to the size of a house. "This pencil must be magical," the prince shouted, and he knew how to save himself. The prince took a stance against the beast, pointed his pencil, and said, "You're just as playful as a kitten." And with that, the pencil did its magic, and the lion cocked his head to the side, smiled, and fell over with his belly in the air. The Prince Diphthong came and rubbed the lion's tummy, named him Simile, and plucked just one hair out to put in his canteen before returning him to his original size and adventuring on. Armed with his magic pencil, the Prince Diphthong was feeling much more confident in his journey as he made his way to the dwelling of the homophone Hydra. "Can I please have one of your scales?" the prince asked as the Hydra crawled out of their cave. "That's very bold of you to ask," they replied. "Where are you?" the Hydra roared. "Behind this rock," the prince offered. "Come out so I can see you." "Right away," squeaked the prince as he emerged from his hiding spot. "Why do you need one of my beautiful scales? Removing one would make me weak in that spot, and I would not be whole. I need to save my sweet knight from a curse, and one of your scales is part of the cure. Please, I will give you anything I can." "Aw, you want to save your sweet knight. Fine, I will give you a scale if you can provide me with something I will love." "I can give you something that is both a noun and a verb. I can give you my shield." "Perfect," the homophone Hydra shouted. "I will need it while my scale regrows." "Thank you, I appreciate your scale, and I will remember you always," the prince returned. And with that, the prince went on his way to find the fabled pure water of the river Entomology. When the Prince Diphthong finally got to the spot where the great river Entomology ran, he was surprised to see the land was barren, all but a small and ugly little pond. The pond water was black from sitting still. "This water simply won't work to cure my knight Hyperbole, not as it is. This river is named Entomology after the history of the word. Maybe, just maybe, this will work." The prince grabbed his pencil and started writing out the history of the word river. The pencil began to do its magic, and a river began to form from the nasty pond. As the water moved over the ground and the rocks and the plants, it filtered out and turned blue as the sky. It was the cleanest water Diphthong ever saw. Diphthong waited a few seconds and then plunged his canteen into the river to let the pure water mix in with the hair and the scale, and he went on his way. Next up was the feather of a phoenix, and the closest phoenix forest was far away. It was nighttime before the Prince Diphthong got there. Luckily, the phoenixes kissed by fire, and their light broke through the darkness and revealed their location through the trees. The prince didn't know how to call a phoenix, so again he trusted his magic pencil for help. He was getting really worried for his night hyperbole, so he was trying to be as fast as possible. His magic pencil did its thing, but this time simply wrote the letters C-H, ch, and then stopped. Diphthong was confused, but decided he would say what the pencil told him to. Ch. Ch, Diphthong said to himself, when out of the corner of his eye he saw a phoenix move a bit. He tried again, and again the phoenix moved. Oi, I don't know what else to do, the prince said in exhaustion. But the phoenix moved. Oi, he said again, and again it moved. Ch, oi. These must be phonics phoenixes, the prince shouted. He knew there were 44 different sounds in this language, so he started hollering them to the phonics phoenix to coax it down from its tree. With each different sound, the phonics got closer until it was perched on the ground beside the prince. After the prince explained his situation and his need of the phoenix's feather, the magnificent bird opened its wings and shook. Feathers flew everywhere, and the prince grabbed the biggest one of the bunch and plunged it into the brewing cure he already had. Diphthong thanked the phoenix, but it was still night, so he had to postpone his journey. Oh, my poor hyperbole, I will be back with your cure tomorrow. The phoenix suddenly opened its wings and took off, lighting the path for Diphthong to follow. They arrived at the castle by daybreak and found that Diphthong's fellow knights were able to restrain hyperbole. But Diphthong still wasn't sure what the witch meant by a morphine most unbelievable, so he could not finish the cure. The sight of the night hyperbole made Diphthong want to cry. His humorous knight locked in a cell, all traces of smile gone from his face, with that fresh rage remaining. The witch truly had changed the knight. Looking at his knight made the prince repeat the last ingredient over and over in his head. A morphine most unbelievable. The prince felt hopeless. He kept repeating the sentence and breaking it down. Morphine most unbelievable. 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 And then it hit him. A morphine most unbelievable. Believe is the morphine in that word. I just need to believe. The Prince Diphthong quickly dumped the contents of his canteen onto the knight's head and gave Hyperbole the biggest hug in the world. I believe in you, the prince screamed. And with that, a cloud of smoke appeared again, and the witch rhyme returned. I see that you in fact believe, and I must give your traits and leave. Your friendship lasted through the test, and now your knight is back to best. You loved him when he tore apart, and that's a testament to your heart. I will be on my merry way. I have nothing more to say. The witch rhyme disappeared, and the kingdom of Prosody was safe for all. The prince and the knight went back to their favorite hill to finish their picnic and lived happily ever after.